Welcome back for another video. I know it's been a while. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys one of the most in-depth pressure washing business launch blueprints that you will find here on YouTube. You're going to want to watch this video to the entirety because I'm going to be dropping everything you need to know to launch at least a 10K per month or more pressure washing business this summer, this season. So as mentioned, I'm going to be giving a ton of gems, guys. So I'm going into depth. I'm going to be teaching you guys directly out of my own guide and giving you even more information on top of that and give you guys some systems that if you guys implement them in your business, you will 100% separate yourself from your competitors. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump over to the computer, waste no time, and let's get this training started. Buckle up. All right, guys, so hopefully you are locked in. There's no distractions. Your phone is down. Take out a pen and pad because I am getting ready to give you guys the jewels you need to succeed this summer. As mentioned, I'm holding nothing back. I want to give you guys really solid information. No gimmicks, no fluff, real information that's going to help you launch a successful business this year. So I'm going to be covering a lot of information. So this video will probably get a little bit lengthy. Imagine that right now it's probably going to be at least an hour long, or maybe even a little bit longer than that. But I'm going to try to keep it condensed, but also, like I said, give you guys as much value as possible. So I'm going to be covering things 1 through 7, plus some other things. This is just a little template to keep me organized. But like I said, I'm going to be teaching you guys directly out of my book. So I just want to start off with talking about number 1, which is market research. And that is asking the question, is there already competition? Which a lot of you guys may be afraid of competition, but I'm going to tell you this. Your only real competition in business is yourself. But the reason why you want to ask, is there already competition in my niche or in your area, is because you want to know, is this service even in demand, right? Because if no one else has started it, pressure washing's been around for a while now. I'm sure people have heard of it by now. So you should have at least a few competitors in your area or in your niche, in your space. And so what you want to do is quick market research, is go to Google, type in pressure washing businesses near me or in whatever city. And you want to find a few. Look at the Google My Business box and see what pops up. See how many reviews they have. See how long they've been in business. Go click their website. See what services they offer. Now, you're not doing this to really see who you're facing against, but you just want to see that, okay, they've been in business for a while. There's a good flow of people interested in the service. And maybe you'll even know if there's demand by even driving around the city, looking at different neighborhoods, seeing a need, right? You might see roofs that need to be cleaned. You might see a lot of decks that need to be cleaned. Or you might see a lot of concrete that needs to be cleaned. These are all services you can offer under one pressure washing business, or you can just be a niche service. There's nothing wrong with being just completely being a deck restoration or wood restoration business, or specializing in roof washing. Each one of these services alone could make you 6 figures a year. Or you can offer them all under one umbrella. As mentioned, that's the common thing for most businesses. Obviously, it just takes more specialization and knowledge about each service because they are different, right? Cleaning concrete is different from washing a house. Deck restoration is different from roof washing. So there's a lot of industry knowledge you'll have to learn to be able to offer all these services, but you can definitely offer them. Now, what I will say from experience, though, is that there's a principle called the 80-20 principle, which means that 80% of your revenue will come from like 20% of your services. Let's just say you do choose to offer house washing, deck restoration, roof washing, concrete cleaning under the same company. Chances are you're not going to equally generate revenue from every service. For the most part, you're probably going to get most of your customers being house washes or most of your customers being roof washes, but the equal distribution of revenue amongst each service is highly, highly unlikely. But, so that's just a simple thing we're going to start with. You know, if you're in a beach town, there's obviously probably going to be a lot of decks on homes. So you might want to specialize in wood restoration, just as an example. And now we'll go ahead and hop over to the book, and we'll skip this first section. This is just the intro, talking about, and we'll quickly go over this. And, you know, one of the biggest lessons I learned when I first started this business, and at 18 years old, was to remain a student, right? And never think you know it all. To this day, no matter what industry or what business I'm in, I try to remain a student. So always try to learn as much as you can. Now, so Step one, I'm just going to run through this information. And guys, what I'm going to be doing is I normally sell this ebook. This ebook, I've sold hundreds of copies. Everyone who's watching this video for a limited time only, if you click the link below this video and you just want to get the ebook, I'm going to give it to you completely for free. You're just going to need to give me your name and email, and I will send you over a copy of this book along with my wood restoration business blueprint ebook. So you'll get that as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So what I do recommend doing after you've done market research is to form a business plan. So this is coming up with your business name, company mission statement, the services you're going to offer, marketing plan, and customer demographics, etc. So business name, obviously you want to have keywords in it. So you might be Jack's Pressure Washing or whatever city pressure washing, whatever your name is. Obviously get a little bit creative with it, but make sure people know exactly what you offer right in the name. So it could be, High Point Roof Washing as just an example. So we won't overthink the name though. Don't get stuck on the minuscule things because your business name is not what's going to make you money. So these kind of steps, we just want to kind of run through these. The company mission statement doesn't have to be super detailed. It could just be something as simple as, you set out to provide a top quality service to whatever demographic and, at affordable rates, quality service, et cetera, right? That could be your mission. Maybe you want to give back. Maybe you are a vet and part of your mission statement, you want to help veterans in your business, whatever. Could be something you add, but so next thing we have is services. So as I just mentioned, in market research, I kind of named a few services you can offer in the pressure washing business. Like I said, you have pressure washing, roof washing, house washing, concrete cleaning, specialty stain removal like graffiti or rust stains, oil stains. These are all things you can charge separately for. And so you want to list what services that you want to offer. It might start with you only offering, 2 services, 3 services, and as your knowledge grows, then you can expand and offer even more services down the line. Then you want to have your marketing plan. So we'll talk about marketing later on this. I won't cover this too much, but you do want to write up your marketing plan. How do you plan on getting customers? And so later on in this, I'll cover some ways that you can actually, get customers and draw attention for your business. And then understanding customer demographics, right? So when it comes to customer demographics, what we're kind of thinking of is, one of the big things is income. Obviously your demographics will be mainly homeowners, or maybe you want to go commercial and you want to deal with commercial businesses and go, you maintain their property for exterior cleaning. So those are some things you might think about, and then you might want to target people, who their average income is, say $100,000 to $300,000, and they, their home value on average is about a $400,000 house. Just things you want to think about when it comes to customer demographics. But you'll learn more as you start to run the business who your demographic is. But it is good to know in advance before you launch. All right, so we did over here. The next thing we have is branding yourself. This is a big one. So branding yourself, this has to do with customer service, professionalism, uniform logo, etc. So my very first job was Chick-fil-A. I worked there at the age of 15 through, I believe I left at 18 years old. And the number one thing I learned in Chick-fil-A, other than systems, because systems is a big thing about Chick-fil-A as well, but customer service, right? Saying my pleasure and providing people a great experience. No matter what time they came, what Chick-fil-A they went to, you always get the same experience. You get the Chick-fil-A experience, right? You know that when you go to their line and you're going through drive-thru, they're not just going to say, go ahead with your order like McDonald's does or something. They're going to greet you very friendly, with a smile, energetic, and that is how Chick-fil-A does it. So that's some things to consider when it comes to branding your business and separating yourself. And so when it comes to customer service isn't just you being kind on the phone. Customer service is also answering the phone. It's also following up with interested leads. And this might sound simple, but a lot of people start the business, they run it, and they don't even respond to people who are interested. They don't actually get back with the people who call their business. And later on, guys, this is why I want you to watch the whole video. I'm going to show you some systems, some softwares you guys can use to automate this, even if you're a solo operation, so you can close more deals and lose less customers. But I want you guys to just know that your customer service is how you appear. So, professionalism, you pull up, you want to look like,
You know what you're talking about. You want to also obviously know what you're talking about, but you want to look presentable. So it comes down to things like, you want to have a nice uniform, get some nice shirts made for your business. Have a nice logo. So for example, you might want to get some shirts made like this. These are called sublimation t-shirts or just shirts for your business. And these are what the typical industry guys are wearing. So you want to get a design like this made. They don't stain, so they're like bleach resistant, and they're just going to stand out. They're colorful, they pop, and they just look uniform. So when you pull up to a house, you stand out. You stand out from the other guy who just shows up, in some dirty t-shirt and whatever. You actually look like, you know what you're doing. You look professional, and automatically you build more trust and authority when you pull up with something branded, just looking professional. So as you can see, here's a design I had made before, and has logo on it, services, house washing, roof washing, deck cleaning and staining, concrete cleaning, and more. It lists these things, website. So get a shirt like this made for your business. It will help you stand out and just look professional overall. So coming back over here, so, think about these things. Get your logo design, and we'll talk about that in the book in a second. Let me scroll through here. But that's pretty much what I mean when I say branding yourself. It's your reputation. You want to look professional. You want to look nice. One place to get a logo made is Fiverr. So check out fiverr.com. And let's scroll next. Next, we're going to talk about getting a website and social media. So, actually, I'm going to go down to here first. We're going to go down to, we'll do this. So we'll talk about website, social media accounts. So, you want to have, obviously in today's age, you want to have a website, which is not like a super neat. It doesn't have to be a super complex website. We just want to have something that people can go to and fill out a form so you can request quotes. I'm going to show you guys that later in this video. Of course, some places people can see your work, and that's pretty much the base of a website. It doesn't have to be no super expensive website to get the job done, because in reality, a lot of your business is going to be generated from your Google My Business, so your your GMB, Google My Business profile. That's going to be where your reviews are at. People can see photos, and so that's where the majority of people are going to hit first, along with something like Facebook. Facebook has been a social media platform that has generated me thousands and thousands of dollars worth of business from just running ads and getting a lot of reviews on my page. So I do recommend having at least a Facebook page, and you can have an Instagram page as well, and even a TikTok page. So to get a website design, you can learn to build it yourself on something like WordPress or Squarespace. You can hire someone, once again, like on a site like Fiverr. And I'm going to show you another option towards the end of this video when we get into software and automation. Your next step along the line with launching your business is getting an EIN number. That just means employer identification number. This is going to, you'll need this for opening up business bank accounts, reporting taxes, etc. And the link for getting an EIN is right in the ebook. So if you want that, that will be available for you as well. Then I do recommend forming an LLC. Do you have to do that from the jump? No, you do not. You can always go out and make money first and then reinvest and get an LLC. And the steps for that will also be in this ebook, but it's just something to think about. I didn't first have an LLC when I launched, but I did down the road get one, just so you can, separate the liability between you and your business. Next is going to be opening up a business bank account. You do want your expenses to be separated from your main account, obviously. So you want to have your business account and then you have your personal account. You don't want to intermingle those transactions. It's also going to be, obviously, make it easier for accounting purposes. So when it comes to opening a business bank account, just check with your local bank or credit union and see if you can open a business bank account. Actually, the one that's listed in here is no longer even available for like really small businesses. They kind of changed their business model. So I used to recommend Brex. They were a good company, but I cannot do so anymore. So when it comes to opening up a business bank account, do your research, compare a few banks and see which one offers the most benefits for your business needs. Next, getting a phone system. One of the services you can use for that is called Grasshopper, but I 100% recommend having a business phone number separate from your personal phone number. That way every time someone calls that number, it's about business. So I do not recommend just having it off your personal phone. That to me is just unprofessional. When people call, you want to answer like, hey, thanks for calling. iWorks Pressure Washing. This is Zay speaking. How can I help you? So this is professional things, like simple business things. You don't call, AT&T or your local bakery and it's their personal phone. Right? It's going to be you're calling a business phone number. And you're also going to need this just for your overall business profile. When you're any of your professional information, whether you're launching your LLC or a business bank account, you just need to have separate information, right? Everything needs to be separate. So getting a business phone, there's more options as well. You can use Google Voice for free if you want to. And I'm going to show you another phone system option later on in this video as well. Another big question people have is insurance. Yes, you do want to get insured because especially a lot of you guys, you're completely, I want to say, I'm just going to use the word ignorant about how to actually fulfill the services. It'll make by ignorant, I don't mean like a negative way. I just mean like you are not, trained. You're not knowledgeable on everything. And so a simple mistake you make could cost you thousands of dollars. It could put you out of business when you first launch, right? It's something as simple as not having a nozzle locked in and you point it straight at the house and then boom, it cracks your siding or cracks a window. And now you have to come out of pocket for that. So I do recommend having insurance. And I've listed some insurance options here in the ebook. So get the copy. You can go through this and choose your insurance option. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So let's come back over here to the, all right, so we talked about branding yourself. We talked about, we haven't gotten to these yet. All right. Knowledge in the industry, we'll cover that in the ebook. So I'm just going to keep scrolling through here. All right, so one of the big things people have is, when it comes down to getting equipment. And so here's a couple questions we'll want to run through. One, what is your budget? How much are you willing to invest? Now, I've talked about this on multiple videos on my channel, different ways to launch this business on a budget. Even a model starting with, renting equipment initially. And you could start with a small pressure washer. If you're knowledgeable, the pressure washer kind of just determines how fast you work. In some form, it does affect the quality of work you can do, but the more knowledge you have in this industry, you can really I could wash a house with a pump sprayer and a hose if I had I had a ladder and, it allowed. But obviously this is about, efficiency. So in taking the time to really, invest in your business is important. But I understand everyone's on different budgets, but, there are some things I personally do recommend starting with. Cause when I originally launched, I started my business with a 2.5 GPM pressure washer. And, if I was to start from scratch, right, I would have started with at least a 4 GPM. And the reason why is you can make money with 2.5, but once you start to get volume, the GPM of a 2.5 is just too low. It's not, rinsing is going to take you forever. And those machines, they're just not commercial grade, meaning that they're not meant to be ran frequently, right? So you're going to be, going through those pressure washers every few months or so if you start to do a lot of houses. How do I know this? Because I was that guy. I know for a fact. So a 4 GPM is not just about it being higher GPM, it's that the engine and all of it is just made for volume. So it's going to last you longer, so it just makes more sense to take the time to invest in that initially. And that's why I said you have the option of renting equipment, because if you have like a Home Depot, for example, you can rent a 4 GPM machine from Home Depot for, less than like $100 a day. Go out, make your money, and once you made enough money, right, you just reinvest and you can purchase one. You also have the option to buy a used one or a complete new one. So that's just something to think about. Number 2 is what type of vehicle do you currently own, right? So if you already own like a truck, it's going to make your life a little bit easier, or like an SUV or something where you're able to add a trailer or at least haul equipment, right? So if you just have a sedan right now, that's not going to be too ideal for running this business, because you're going to either need a truck bed setup, a van setup, or a trailer setup. Those are pretty much your 3 options when it comes to starting this business. So just something to think about. I'll be showing you guys some examples in a little bit. Next is, are you doing this business full-time or part-time? It's completely up to you if you want to run this as a part-time business, make a few extra $1,000s a month, or you're like, okay, I really want to put my all into this and make this my full-time income, and make at least, $8, $9, $10, $15,000 or more per month, which is very doable, guys. I'm telling you this because I have done it. I'm not going to come on here and try to teach you guys anything I have not done. So that's something to consider too about your initial investment. If you're just going to do this part-time, then I wouldn't invest a crazy amount of money, right? Because you'll see in the groups in this industry and just all over the place, guys come out the gate investing, $50,000, $80,000, $40,000. And obviously the more you invest initially, the longer it's going to take to become profitable. So I'm honestly a proponent of, being on a smaller budget, starting this business with under 10K. And I know it might sound high to some people. You can even start this business with 5K. Once again, the biggest expense outside of the equipment is going to be, what vehicle do you own? So if you already have a truck, okay, great. Your cost will be less because you don't need to worry about buying a trailer initially. But if you don't own a trailer, okay, you have to get that. So it's a little bit more of an expense. So some things to consider when launching. Are you going to be targeting mostly residential or commercial clients? So obviously, if you're doing commercial, you need to definitely have better equipment than you would run for a residential business. So all these questions are important when it comes to choosing your rig initially. So here we go. Let's take a look at some examples. Here's an example of a truck bed setup. As you can see, guys, it's pretty compact. They have this tank, they have the hose reels, they have your pressure washer, they have a ladder setup. So this is just an example of what a potential truck setup can look like. Can be less complex, can be more complex, depending on, once again, your budget and all the initial equipment you're going to get for your business. And obviously, this goes back to why you want to have a business plan, so you'll know, okay, are you launching just house washing? Well, you don't need too much if you're just launching a house washing business. Pressure washer, wands, hoses, a way of applicating. So maybe you X-jet, maybe you downstream. We'll cover what that means in a little bit when we get to the industry knowledge section. But the pros of a truck bed setup: compact setup, no pulling a trailer, which might be annoying to some people. Cons is obviously going to be limited space. Trailer setup. So, what are the benefits? More space, easily accessible. Pulling a trailer may be difficult to park in certain areas. Those are the cons. So not everyone might want to pull a trailer. Everyone might not have the ability to pull a trailer. So that's something to think about when it comes to, having a trailer setup. Then we get down here to what my setup was, which is a van setup. We have a Honda GX690. We have a soft wash machine. We have our tank that our pressure washer pulls from. Now this is an upgraded setup, guys. If you go back to my channel, look at older videos, I didn't start with this. I started with the bare minimum and worked my way up. And this setup is not the most fancy, but this setup right here, made me a lot of money. I made a lot of money before this too, but this setup right here was, my most efficient. I mean, once I got this, belt drive machine, the water tank, and this, soft wash machine, I literally made more money. And not only that, I was faster and more efficient. Now, the van setup. Why the van setup? So, can lock up your equipment, protect it from rain, and it's compact. That's the pros. So, some of the downsides: limited space, fumes, and then weight, and then also potential rusting if you spill in bleach. So, something that you want to think about. So, these are all the main examples. Now, obviously, with each example, how you construct your setup can be completely different, but I do recommend, this one I just enjoyed because I want to pull a trailer and I wanted my equipment to be protected. So I was a fan of the van setup, and depending on the size of your van, you can be able to fit all the stuff in. I had all my equipment. You guys see the spray bottles, hose reel, and this isn't the most fancy setup, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not the most fancy setup, but this is literally, a setup that can make you at least $10,000 or more per month. All right, so here is a list of things you might need when first launching your pressure washing business. So a pressure washer. This is the one. Okay, it's 8 GPM Honda GX690. Now, mind you, this is like a $3,000-$4,000 pressure washer. You don't need to have one like this out the gate. Now, if you're at the gate, you have the budget, you just want to be efficient, go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Going to need hose reels. Going to need hoses. I do recommend having at least 200 feet because your pressure washer, depending on which one you have, will be stationary. My pressure washer does not come out the van, so it just stays, right? So you need enough hose to be able to get around the property that you're doing. You need a water hose. I recommend at least 100 feet. Soft wash machine. If you're going to be doing roof washing, that's definitely an important tool to have. Respirators, push broom, measuring cup, ball valve, downstream ejectors, squeegee, hand sprayers, pump sprayers, surface cleaner, a cooler if you want to keep, water when it's hot outside. Definitely want to have that. Duct tape, painter's tape to tape off certain things around the house. A J-rod, plastic tarps, Ryobi sprayer, sludge sucker, measuring wheel. This is for you to accurately quote concrete. Microfiber towels, cobweb brush attachment, regular brush attachment, first aid kits. X-Jet, safety goggles, safety gloves, general toolbox, WD-40, 28-foot ladder with stabilizer and ratchet straps. So, do you need to have all this out the gate? No, but I just listed all the stuff, that my advanced setup had, so I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. Next, we come down here to, this is all industry knowledge right now, guys, so equipment and industry knowledge. Belt drive or direct drive. So, belt drive or direct drive refers to the pump type. So, direct drive pumps are the most common types of pumps you'll find at your local big box store. That looks like this. So most of your machines that you guys see or familiar with will look like this. But like the Honda GX690 looks like this is a belt drive machine. And the difference is like this pulls directly from a tank. This one pulls kind of like directly from a house, like a house water source. But this one is like you feed water from the water outlet at the house that feeds into your tank. The tank feeds into the belt drive machine. And these machines are associated with higher GPM because once you get up to higher GPM pumps, they can't pull from a house water outlet because there's just not enough GPM. So you need to have a consistent flow, and that's why you have that water tank where it pulls from. And you just have to keep that full, obviously, or else you won't get anything. But I'm a proponent of the belt drive pump once you have the budget to set up for it, but initially out the gate, like most of you guys, your budget, and you'll train probably just on a direct drive. So like I said, if you go to Home Depot right now or anywhere and buy a pressure washer or rent one, it will be a belt drive. A direct drive pump. All right, let's just cover this. So the downside of direct drive pumps that they're dependent on the water flow, dependent on the water flow of the source you're using. So say your pressure washer is a 4 gallon per minute pump. Puts out 4 gallons of water per minute. That's what it just means, right? Water source you're connected to only puts out 3 gallons per minute. If that was scenario, your pump would be at a deficit, meaning your pump is trying to pull more water than what is available. That would result in a low pressure or inconsistent flow of water coming out of the end of your wand. So you would essentially be starving the pump, which could result in damage. Now, the way the belt drive machine works, it pulls water from the water tank, then it gets plumbed to. It pulls water from the water tank that it plumbs to. Benefits is that you don't have to be concerned about the water pressure on the water on site. You're able to obtain a consistent flow your whole job as long as you keep your water tank filled. The more GPM your machine, the bigger the water tank you'll need. For example, I have an 8 GPM machine and I keep a 250 gallon IBC water tote in my van, which is normally kept halfway full because of weight. If it's all the way full while driving, that is dangerous and not safe. So definitely want to beware of weight concerns. Okay, so let's talk more about pressure washers. Entering the industry, you might not know much about pressure washers, what makes one better over the next. Being that you're just starting this business and not just a hobby, you want to make sure you have the right machine that can handle the work. So I mentioned this earlier about consumer grade machines versus commercial grade that you typically find at big box stores. They'll be rated, 200 or 2,500 PSI, pounds per square inch is what PSI means, and 2.5 GPM. GPM means gallons per minute. While you can purchase a machine like this and get work done, it's not optimal. Here are a few reasons why. Consumer grade machines are not built to last, not reliable. As I mentioned, guys, if you start doing volume, multiple houses a day, these machines are not meant to be. These are for literally casual use. People who might spray off their driveway once, twice a year. They use it to wash their car every few weeks. Not someone who's running a professional business, doing multiple house washes and and driveway cleanings a day. It's not what it's for. Like your pump is going to go out quicker than later, sooner than later. Less gallons per minute, which means the more time you'll spend working. Guys, time is money in this business. So when I say, the more time you'll spend working, is that once you have a faster machine and you're also knowledgeable about what you're doing, you can go in and, knock out 2 stories, say 3,000 square foot house wash, 25 square foot house wash in 45 minutes. Literally, like once you know what you're doing and you have the process down, and you have the right equipment, you can literally run through house washes, which means what? Now you're making more money, you're more profitable. Do you want to be the guy out there working on a house for 4 hours, hauling ladders around, taking all day, just killing themselves? Or do you want to be the guy who can pull up and get done? I've had times where I arrive at a job and there was already, let's say, a competitor, less experienced, across the street from me doing a house wash, 3+ people, ladders being carried around. They've already been working on the house for a couple hours. I get to a house wash, same size, just me, maybe a helper. I'm out 45 minutes flat. Done, and better work, more quality, quality job, all because of industry knowledge. One, you want to get familiar about processes and whatnot, and then the equipment I have. That's what's going to separate you, guys. So, people like to argue in this industry about what type of equipment should you start with. Listen, if you want to really make money, do not be afraid to invest in your business. I literally made more money when I spent that $3,000 and got a better machine. I made more money, right? I made more money when I invested more into, getting my van logos put on and just looking more professional. I made more money. So I'm telling you guys from experience. Everything I'm telling you is from experience. I'm trying to save you guys time, heartache, and headache. And so you can get off at the best start. I didn't have this information. I didn't have training like this when I first launched, right? Now, information is more readily available, but back when I started, it was like gatekeeping. People were keeping secrets. They didn't want anybody else to succeed. And that's why I come on YouTube to try to provide this value to you all. So, next, number 3, you will have a hard time reaching second stories and higher. So yeah, like the GPM, if you have a 2.5 GPM machine, it's going to be hard to reach, homes over 2 stories. And even some 2-story homes you won't be able to reach. But once you have like an 8-gallon per minute machine or even a 4, you're able to reach those peaks without needing a ladder. This is how guys are able to soft wash, is by having the right GPM. Because washing a house, it's not about high pressure. To properly wash a house, you're not using a high pressure. You really soft wash houses. And you can soft wash using a pressure washer. You downstream, we'll talk about this later, but you downstream and you have a good flow for rinsing. That's how you wash a home. Alright, and then 4, customer perception. Customers may not look at you professional if you have like a little small machine. Guys, I've been through all this, I was the guy who had all my equipment in the back of a hatchback vehicle, pulling it up, unloading all my equipment, a little 2,000, PSI machine. The same machine that a customer might have in the garage. Now, mind you, I still got the job done, but perception-wise, they just, they kind of doubted me. I proved them wrong, but they did doubt me initially. But, if you just want to command authority when you first pull up, is have the right equipment. That is just one way to separate yourself. It leads to more business too, right? People are more likely to refer you if you just look like the guy who knows what they're doing. So with that being said, you're probably wondering what specs should you be looking for. Most professionals will tell you to start with a 4 GPM machine or higher. I didn't understand the importance of this when I first, until I experienced the difference firsthand, right? When I was running a 2.5 GPM machine, I didn't understand why. I thought the guys were just hating on me by telling me I needed a 4 GPM. I thought they were haters, didn't want me to succeed. But once I actually used a 4 GPM machine, my eyes were open, right? And I could not unsee it, unfeel the experience. So, other than the machine putting out more gallons per minute, commercial grade machines are built for heavy use. So they're built for you to be using them all day and using them consistently as long as you maintain them, of course. Sorry if I'm talking fast, guys. I'm just trying to not make this video super, super long. We still have a lot to cover. You don't want to put up job sites, praying your equipment works. Trust me, I went through this. I went my fair share of cheap pressure washers before I finally learned just to buy the right one. Right? Don't be attached to the money. Let it go. Invest in your business. Yes, it will cost you more, but it's 100% worth it. The right equipment can be the difference between a 45-minute house wash or a 3-hour house wash. And remember, guys, like I said, time is money. The less time you spend on a job, the more money you make. Okay, so where do we find equipment at? All right, you can purchase your equipment. Where you purchase equipment will really decide on your budget. So if your money is tight, you're just starting off, you might want to start this business. Here's a few options. Start booking jobs, then rent equipment from Home Depot, guys. I've mentioned this, a few times already in this training. This is a risk-free option because you launch jobs first, then you can go rent equipment. So this is kind of like, the lowest risk entry into this industry. I know I recommended avoiding consumer grade machines, but if that's all you can afford, then go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to start the business because yes, you can still succeed. It'll just take you a little bit longer, but I'm not going to tell you not to do it because I did it. So, the most important thing you can do is to reinvest as quickly as possible. So don't hold on to a small machine too long if that's what you start with. Do have a very immediate plans to reinvest. And then number 3, we have buy used equipment. Everyday guys start this business and realize they no longer want to pursue it. When that happens, normally equipment pops up for sale in Facebook groups, marketplace, or sites like Craigslist. And here are a couple links you can use for equipment. So I have a Facebook group listed here. The link will be in the ebook. Pressure Tech, JaneEquipment.com, PowerWash.com, Harbor Freight, Northern Tool. Harbor Freight is actually where I had got my 4 GPM commercial grade machine from for about $900. Not sure what the price is now, but you can definitely check them out. All right, if you're good with your hands, you may consider building your own rigs to save money. If you're someone who likes to put stuff together, I have a knowledge about plumbing and doing all that, then great for you. I'm not that guy. I just wouldn't even handle maintenance. All that. I just want to do the work and get on with it. Anything fixing, repairing, I'm outsourcing. All right. So we're talking about getting started with exterior cleaning now. So we're going to continue down the industry knowledge section. All right. So we'll talk about what service can you potentially offer, which we've kind of covered already. A general overview of how you can tackle most common services, the most important terms you need to know, and what does bad work look like, guys. This is going to be super valuable. Hopefully you're still tuned in and learning a lot right now. So what services can you offer in this business? So right now you might just be thinking pressure washing or just house washing. Well, if that's all you're thinking about, you're really limiting yourself because there's way more money to be made. I like to just call this business the exterior cleaning business, not just the term pressure washing or soft washing. I feel like exterior cleaning is more fitting, especially if your business is offering multiple services. So the most important thing is to be educated on knowing the differences between services. So for example, you sell a customer a house wash, they may think washing the house includes driveway, deck, retainer walls, etc. Those are all separate charges. Here's a list of the most common services residential exterior cleaners may offer. So let's go down this list real quick. You have house washing, as I talked about. This typically means siding, trim of home, soffits, downspouts, etc. There's also additional service called like gutter whitening, which I don't know if I listed right here, but gutter whitening might be an additional upcharge. If you're confused on what that is, check out my channel. I have a video on it. Window cleaning. This could be a standalone service for sure, or an upsell. And there's obviously there's additional equipment you can buy. And when we wash the house, we spray our solution on the windows and rinse loose dirt and debris, but this isn't the same as window washing, which would ensure a spot-free cleaning. So window washing is definitely an upcharge service. Or, once again, like I said, you can just literally start a window cleaning business. Number 3, driveway and concrete pressure washing. Number 4, deck cleaning and wood restoration. A lot of guys hate cleaning wood because it's a tedious process, but can be a cash cow if you know what you're doing. I used to hate cleaning wood, so I learned how to properly do it. And then I started to love cleaning wood. It became like an art. Most customers ask about staining as well. So if you know how to do that, you can make a lot of money by literally offering both. You could be the one-stop shop. My business had eventually added wood restoration. Wood staining. So there's also groups where you can learn more about that specifically. And also, like I said, I have an ebook on wood restoration that I will give to you for free, limited time. Roof washing. So this is another service that can add you thousands of dollars to your annual revenue. Or like I said, you can specialize this if it's a big need in your market. You just want to only offer roof washing. You can do that. So another profitable service. It requires a soft wash machine, but you buy it, you can make the money back really quickly. Specialty stain removal. So knowing the difference between a basic house wash and then specialty stain removal. Say for example, let's say typically washing only deals with organic things like algae, mildew, dirt, debris, etc. Think about when you wash clothes, right? When you wash clothes, you have removing sweat and smell and all that stuff. But then there might be a specialty stain you have to get out, and there's a difference between washing and then additional stain removing. You might put a shirt in a washing machine. It's now clean, right? It's wearable, but it might still have stains that make it look like it's still dirty. So in house washing, you have the organic things, and then you have stains like rust stains, oil stains, battery acid stains, red clay stains. These are all things you have to have knowledge on to get out. When I first started, I didn't know how to remove any of these things, so all I knew how to do was very basic pressure washing. And if I'm washing a house and it had oil stain, or not oil stain on the house, but oil stain is typically something on concrete, but say a rust stain, and it didn't come out with my house wash mixture, I just told the customer it didn't come out. Not because I was lying to them, it's because I was ignorant. I didn't know any better. So I told them it didn't come out. Obviously down the road, after I spent more time in the industry and learned more, I then learned how to deal with all these different stains. So removing those stains requires special chemicals. We'll talk about later. 7, concrete, paver sealing. This is another service you can offer, or it can be a standalone service. Not a service I ever offered, but there are guys in the industry who do it, so maybe you want to consider it. You can watch some videos on it, learn about it, but I had no interest in it, but it definitely can be another revenue source for your business. Obviously, the more revenue sources you offer, the higher chance, it makes it easier for you, to be able to bring in consistent customers. Because if you only do house washing, unless the market is really big for house washing, you might come to a point where there's not many customers left. And I'm not saying this is, likely, but it just depends on how big the city that you're trying to operate in is. And this, once again, this comes down to market research. So when you follow these steps properly, you'll know kind of these answers in advance, what you should offer. So just something to think about. And then, commercially, some of the services that are kind of associated would be like hood bit cleaning, which once again is kind of its own business, but can be put under a pressure washing model. Drive-through pads, washing parking decks, and washing commercial buildings. Alright, so important section, guys. What does bad work look like? If you do not know this when you first start, you might go out and do some work and think you did a good job, and you actually did a horrible crap job. So pay very attention to this section. So this right here is an example of bad work. Now, what are some issues we have? We have these lines that look horrible. Why do these lines exist? They didn't properly actually get rid of the dirt. They probably either also had a surface cleaner that was probably too big for their machine. They were going too fast. And it just looks ugly. It looks hideous. So this is why industry knowledge is important. If you finish a concrete job that looks like this, I'm just going to tell you, you did a bad job. Because I can't go into a bunch of training right now on how to actually properly wash. We'll cover some techniques and some chemicals a little bit, but just know that's bad work. What's another example of bad work? Right here, big one, bad work. What happened here? This is a result of lack of knowledge. Someone used too high pressure on the siding and it caused what's called, they disturbed the oxidation. Disturbing oxidation is like, well, oxidation in itself, if you rub your finger across a vinyl siding and you get this chalky residue, that's called like oxidation. It's a result of like, heat and paint and time. I'm not going to go into super detail, but just know that if you use high pressure, what happens is you're going to be removing the oxidation. And if you don't remove all of it, right, and do it evenly, when it dries, it's going to look like this. A lot of people don't know until it dries. This thing scared the heck out of me when I first started as a team. And I was just, like I said, ignorant, didn't know anything, and started pressure washing. And I oxidized at home. And honestly, I thought I ruined the siding. I didn't have insurance. It's just a complete wreck. And this is why I'm trying to tell you guys to take this training seriously. Pay attention, because little mistakes can cost you a lot. I literally quit pressure washing for a couple of years after that, just because I thought I was done for. I was like, I didn't want to go through it again. Like, I was so scared. I was like, I don't have the money. Luckily, it was just able to be set up with a refund. And, but that was, at that time, it was really scary because I didn't know what this was, what I had did. I thought I ruined the siding. Now, I'm knowledgeable about how to fix this if it does occur, but I'm also knowledgeable on how to prevent it. Two important things to know. So, for example, if you know how to prevent this, but also know how to fix it, you can get paid to come after somebody's work and to fix this. Now, this would be a service you charge them a lot for because it is more tedious than just a basic house wash. Here's another example. Someone tried to pressure wash a surface that really just needed to be soft washed. This is why knowledge matters, guys. Someone tried to pressure wash a roof. Big no-no. You don't pressure wash roofs. You soft wash roofs. All right. Next. So all the pictures that were shown were bad work. I can tell you what went wrong in every picture, which I kind of just explained to you guys. And what the problem was with most of these was the person cleaning thought pressure alone was the solution. Every picture I showed you, someone tried to use pressure to wash. I'll tell you right now, guys, pressure doesn't wash. Pressure does what pressure does, like strips. It doesn't wash. It's just using high pressure. In anything, it's doing more damage than good. When you knowledge about this industry, you'll find out that most of the time, most surfaces can be cleaned by knowing the right chemical to use. And then the rinsing part is just kind of a low to medium pressure rinse to just take off what's already been lifted. Alright? So pressure is rarely the answer. Most exterior cleaning jobs aren't about pressure, but they're more about process. So knowing the right process in camps could save you hours of headache. Now, let's talk about a house wash. Getting started with residential exterior cleaning. Now that we've covered a lot of info regarding starting a business, it's time to talk about how do we actually tackle these jobs. All right, so number one, we'll talk about, so we're going to cover roof washing, house wash, driveways, and decks really quickly. Property protection is one of the first things we want to talk about. So I have a property protection checklist here that you can access. But knowing how to protect the property is just as important as knowing how to wash it and take certain precautions before every job. So plants, right? It's important to make sure this is things that not everyone thinks about that can cost you thousands of dollars. People have expensive plants, right? They also have like koi pond, fish ponds, and that if you get the wrong chemicals in there, it can kill their fish, it could cost you thousands of dollars. and also just puts a bad taste in the customer's mouth. Things you gotta know, right? And the videos that are just like, hey, make a bunch of money pressure washing, start your business tomorrow, they aren't covering this stuff, right? They aren't giving you details. So a lot of guys, you're going out and you're screwing people's homes because you're just not knowledgeable. So, like I said, once again, I wish I had this. I had someone just give it to me like this when I first started, but it just wasn't there. You live and you learn. I had to learn through all my own experiences and failures to be able to come on YouTube and just give you guys game like this. So hopefully, if you're enjoying this, if this is valuable for you, drop a comment right now. Drop a appreciate that Zay in the comment right now. Okay, it's important to take proper precautions when spraying chemicals around homeowners' plants. Bleach it's not only corrosive, but it can kill plants. Like if you put too much bleach in a plant or grass, it turns brown, it kills it. So you got to know how to deal with this. Chems can potentially kill plants. So make sure you properly water plants and cover them as necessary. Be mindful when dragging your hose around the home that you don't dig up plants or damage yard lights and things to think about. Electric outlets. When doing a property inspection, be sure to make sure you cover all electric outlets components are properly taped off. That's why I mentioned tape in the equipment list, or just checklist of things you need. You could potentially spark a fire, blow a fuse, if safety measures aren't taken seriously. So also consider taping off the doorbells. Vehicles. When it comes to vehicles, I normally ask customers to have them removed from the driveway. You get overspray. Say if it's a hot day, you're washing the house, you're applicating bleach, someone's car is close by, a little wind blows, you're not paying attention, you're just in the zone washing, and now it dries, and now you have really hard spots to get out people's paint, right? Could be another headache. So the things to think about. Wood. You're washing a house, but the deck wash isn't included. Wood, when it touches that surface, starts to clean. Also kind of brightens. So if you're washing a house and then, you get bleach on the wood surface that you're not planning on cleaning, when it dries, it's going to look inconsistent. So, it's important to note that when cleaning to properly protect the wood, bleach will react on wood, potentially causing bleach spots where it has either been cleaned or caused the pigment to change in certain areas. A way to help limit this is to keep the wood wet at all times. Keep in mind, also when spraying doors, there have been instances where bleach has negatively reacted on certain pigments of Sherwin paint, leaving it with an uneven finish. Windows. Be sure to washing windows. Do not let bleach dry on window surfaces. This could cause potential damage, involve a little more time-consuming process to restore the windows back to normal. Alright guys, so let's talk about terms you need to understand. SH. So when people say in the industry, say SH or bleach, sodium hypochlorite. Sodium hypochlorite is commonly known as bleach. It's most frequently used as disinfecting agent. It is a broad spectrum disinfectant that is effective for the disinfection of viruses, bacteria, fungi, and microbacterium. This is the most effective chemical or common chemical when it comes to exterior cleaning. Bleach deals with organics such as algae and mildew. We refer to the house mix. We will refer to the house mix wash later on in this ingredient. So sodium hypochlorite is a chemical that you're going to become very familiar with because this is going to be what you use for most of your work. Soft washing, roof washing, house washing. That's the chemical that's going to be doing most of the work. Soft wash. This term refers to using low PSI to clean, combined with proper cleaning solutions, oftentimes done by a 12-volt pump. Pressure washing is the opposite of soft washing. Pressure uses high pressure to clean. Remember, I said that most of your jobs, though, you're going to be soft washing. Even if you're using your pressure washer, you're going to be soft washing. And I'll explain that later once again because I talked about PSI and pressure washing. Your PSI of your pressure washer, say if it says it does up to 4,200 PSI, that is with a certain nozzle put on there, like typically the red nozzle. That's your highest amount of PSI. And think about the orifice of a nozzle, and I think I'll cover this in this book. The smaller the hole, the more pounds per square inch is putting out. The wider the orifice, the more like volume of water. Think more volume of water, so it's less powerful, but just more volume, if that makes sense. Because you're trying to squeeze a lot of water through a small hole, it's going to create more pressure. Okay, so we got soft washing, downstreaming. So this is one of the most common, popular ways to apply our soft wash or house wash mix to a surface is by downstreaming. So downstream injector works by the Venturi effect. Simply means Simply put, this means that the water from the pressure washer is pushed through a constricted section of the injector. As a result, the increased velocity of fluids creates a vacuum, drawing in the solution. There's still pressure. There's still pressure prior to the injector, but there is a significant drop in pressure after it. Using low pressure nozzle at the wand will normally allow downstreaming injector to work correctly. And I put the source for this definition. If you guys want to see an example, I have downstreaming explained on my channel. Surfactant, another word used for soap or detergent. We use this in our house wash mix or roof wash mix to help the solution stay on the surface longer. Without soap in our mix, we may experience faster runoff and also faster drying times, which sometimes we need, a lot of times we need the ingredient to stay active longer so it doesn't dry on the surface. Oxidation, I mentioned this already, but a chalky substance that often appears on vinyl siding, causing the siding to look faded. You can do a finger test by swiping your finger across area of concern. If your finger comes back chalky with residue matching the color of the siding, then it is indeed oxidized, and you want to be very careful with it so you don't have to get extra work. Glioxapsa-magma. Glioxapsa-magma is specifies bacteria on the Glioxapsa genus of the, I don't know how to say this, cyanobacteria. That's probably very incorrect. But an ancient line of photosynthesizing bacteria which photosynthesize water, generating oxygen gas. Here's a pic of what it looks like. Anyway, if you see a roof looks like this, Glioxapsa-magma, we can clean this organically. We soft wash roofs, and once you wash a roof properly, it's going to look like it's brand new again. So very profitable service to offer because people's roof just curb appeal wise, it looks like this. It doesn't look good, so you can revive a roof without them having to get replaced. Obviously, granted, that's if the shingles are still in good shape. So only really offer roof washes to homes that have tiles or surfaces that are still in good shape. Otherwise, you could end up causing more headache. All right, let's quickly cover washing a house. All right, house wash process. All right, more detail. Applying house wash solution to siding. All right, so apply house wash solution to siding. Let solution dwell for a few minutes, and let it dry. Low pressure rinse. Repeat process if necessary. So, talking about downstreaming, guys, there's a video on my channel. You can watch it. Very simple. Pretty much, you have your downstream mixture. You apply the mixture to the siding. You let it sit for a few minutes. It starts to kill the algae. Then you rinse. Then you repeat that process as many times as necessary until the surface is clean. That is pretty much it. What is our house wash mixture? To make it plain, about 90% of the time when we are washing homes, we are spraying homes with a mixture of sodium hypochlorite, known as bleach or SH, mixed with water and surfactant. So the mix is typically SH, surfactant, water. That's it. Consumer grade bleach is made up of 6% SH. This is the bleach you'll find in most stores, anywhere you go. Commercial grade bleach mixtures are usually up to a concentrate of 10 to 12.5% SH. This is the industry standard because it's more effective. Simply put, the higher concentration, the more effective. Even though we're using 12.5% bleach, does not mean we're using it straight, right? So when we downstream, the mix is getting diluted. So, for example, when we apply 12% SH, it is being cut by water, which gets us to ratios. Depending on what method you're using to apply the bleach, that will determine the ratio. For example, we have a 2-gallon pump sprayer. We pour 1 gallon of water and 1 gallon of 12.5% SH. We now have a 1-to-1 mix or a 50-50 mix, or lastly known as a 6% mix, right? The most common way to wash a home is to use, it's called, using a downstream injector. This is a downstream injector. Here's your pressure washer. Once again, I would just take a look at the video, guys, on my channel to see exactly how this works. I've kind of already explained how downstream injectors works. For this section, I'm just going to skip it on this because, like I said, you can just always check out the ebook. Here's a picture of a dray rod. So you can see the holes in this are a lot wider than your average pressure washing nozzle. So the J rod, each nozzle will give you a kind of a different flow. Some of these will give you more of a straighter flow, which will allow you to reach higher stories. Some will give you a fan flow, and then one of these is this is like your soaping nozzle, which allows for the soap to be pulled from the downstream injector. The downstream injectors do not work when you're trying to use, like, say, a white nozzle, green nozzle, which is what most of you guys are going to be familiar with when you first start, is the color-coded ones. But you need specifically a soap nozzle because the other ones are going to be too small of a hole to actually trigger the downstream injector to pull the soap through the hose. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so here's an example of, a house wash. So this is clean from the ground, soft washed, using the process I just described, house wash mixture downstreaming. Most of your homes, people call you, they're going to be dealing with siding that looks like this, and then you're going to get to this simply by following the processes covered in this book. All right, proper house washing techniques allow you to clean most homes without the use of a ladder. A ladder is still handy to have, especially if you're offering roof washing or whatnot, but you want to be able to clean from the ground for the most part, so you can be in and out of jobs and clean effectively. All right. At the writing of this book, I have a Honda GX690, which I described, 8 GPM pressure washer, allows some more effective work, efficiency, just allows you to complete jobs faster. How to clean concrete. All right, so let's just cover this really quickly. We still have more to cover. So you'll need a surface cleaner attachment to properly or effectively and efficiently clean concrete. Right, so you want to have one like this or one like this, depending on the size of your machine. Now, as I mentioned in the what does bad work session look like, if you have a small pressure washer, right, so you have like a 2.5 GPM machine and you're trying to use a big surface cleaner like that, it's not going to spin properly, it's not going to effectively clean because your surface cleaner will be too big for the machine you're trying to use. Okay, so the first picture you can find, those typically at your big box store. This one, you either have to order or find a pressure washing supply store. This one's going to be a little bit more, obviously running you $300 plus, but it's a great investment because, you can make that much on just one driveway, so you make your money back quickly, which is why, this makes for a good business when you know what you're doing. All right, important section. Be mindful that for every 4 inches of surface cleaner size, you'll need 1 GPM for it to spin correctly. For example, if you buy a 16-inch surface cleaner, you would need at least a 4 GPM pressure washer for it to spin correctly. So now that we talked about surface cleaners, other things you'll need for is a favorite chemical bleach, which you apply to concrete. You'll pre-treat it. Because concrete is more coarse material, you normally need to apply a bleach solution a little bit stronger than when we're cleaning houses. That means a downstream injector probably won't get the job done. Depending on how bad the concrete is, I'll say that. And you recommend applying the bleach using an X-Shed or a pump sprayer or soft wash machine. This will allow you to better control the strength of the bleach. And if you remember those ratios, you'll probably need something like a 4% pre-treat when cleaning really dirty concrete. Here's an example. Woo-wee! It looks good. That's the before and after. You see how dirty this was? Takes a good chemical, bleach, pre-treat, surface cleaner, post-treat, and you get a nice clean concrete that looks almost brand new. Alright, so I recommend both pre-treating and post-treating. Pro tip, never use high pressure on new concrete. This is something that you guys also probably won't know if you ever get a surface cleaner. Also, if ever your surface cleaner stops spinning, it's not spinning properly, check the nozzle for clogs. But yeah, very important. You got new concrete, someone might want you to pressure wash it. Be very, very careful. You do not want to pressure wash new concrete because it will literally leave marks in it and also remove the top surface layer of that concrete. So, make sure if anyone wants their concrete clean that it has aged long enough. Like it's at least longer than like a couple of years old for the most part. Alright. For the first 2 years of my business, I did not offer roof cleaning because I thought it was complicated. And at the time, there weren't many YouTube videos breaking it down. Luckily, since I learned and I shared the information on how to do it, let's jump into it. So the tools you need to wash a roof: soft wash machine, ladders, bleach plus surfactant, tarp, safety goggles, gloves, and respirator. Very important. The mix, the bleach is toxic. It's strong. You want to protect yourself. That's number one. So safety is number one. Alright, now that you've seen necessary tools, what's necessary for cleaning roofs, let's talk about the process. First thing you want to consider before cleaning a roof is safety and property protection. Very, very big, important thing. Big emphasis on plants. Obviously, no matter what we're cleaning, safety is important, but roof cleaning, we want to be extra careful because the reason being, unlike washing houses, we're normally using a way stronger mix when washing a roof. At this strength, it will kill plants' grass on contact if they're not kept wet and properly watered during the process. It's recommended that you have groundsperson watering plants while you're washing a roof when it comes down to making up your mix. Remember that 6% means equal parts water to bleach. You can either batch mix your solution or have a proportionate. system. If you have one installed, batch mixing means you just have one tank and your solution is pulled from that tank. It means that it's just set mix. So if you have a batch mix, it means up front you're mixing it. It's going to be the same mix no matter what. A proportional system will allow you to like turn the dials and pull out a different ratio of mix depending on your needs. So these valves are run into 3 different tanks. One tank holds water, one tank holds bleach, one tank holds your surfactant. And depending on how you have them turned, it will control how much solution you pull from each one. Roof wash process simplified. Wet down surrounding plants. Apply solution to roof using a soft wash machine. Let dwell for 15-20 minutes. Reapply solution if dark areas remain. Rinse the roof. ARMA says rinse the roof. This is the American Roofing Manufacturers Association. But personally, I have never rinsed a roof before. I just let the rain do the rinsing, but you want to be aware of the weather in your city. And if there's no rain coming anytime soon, then you'll have to rinse. But remember when rinsing, it is a soft wash rinse. It's not a high pressure rinse. Do what you feel is best for your company and your customers. If it's brown coming down, usually you're good. Here's an example of a roof wash that I have done, and boy, does that look freaking beautiful. It looks sexy. There's no editing done. This is literally what the roof looked like before. A soft wash, a couple days of rain, and the roof looks smacking brand new, and you can get paid well to do this. Alright, so a job well done will last a customer at least 2 years, but I do not offer a warranty because Mother Nature is going to do what Mother Nature wants. As long as I've left and properly cleaned it, whenever it comes back is on nature, on God. And hopefully they'll call me again and come clean it again. Alright, now we're getting into business operations, guys. I'm going to kind of run through this really quickly because I'm going to actually show you guys one of the best parts, well, the best part, I think, of this video that's going to be game changer for your business. So let's quickly cover things like, mileage tracker. You can use the app on your phone like MileIQ, so you can just tax write-off wise. Managing your books, you can use QuickBooks for that. And then we're going to cover pricing jobs. Very, very important thing to know that will be the difference between, how much money you make is knowing how to properly charge. So, let's just quickly go through this. I can't tell you what to charge, so you do what's best for your business. The number that you invest initially also will affect how much you can charge because, like I said, the less you invest initially, the faster you become profitable. So every guy is going to tell you, okay, you should be at least charging this. Some people have like a $400 minimum to come out, whatever, but like it really depends on you as a business owner and your needs and, your expenses. So the number one thing to remember is profit. That means you could charge $1,000 and not be profitable, or you could charge $250 to be profitable. It's all based on your business and how much it costs you to run your business. That's why you want to know your numbers. Tip number one, we figure out how much per hour your business needs to make to stay afloat and be profitable. Also consider if you were to hire an employee today, would it still be profitable, right? So your pie might be big enough for you alone, but once you hire, is it still big enough for the both of you to pay other people? It's one thing I had to learn, right? So one of the big mistakes talked about in the industry, the $99 guy. The last thing you want to be is a $99 guy. But if you're like a team, I guess you can get away with it. But basically the $99 guy, means the guy who charges $99 to wash any house, right? Just no matter whether it's a small house, big house, $99. Been there, guys, done that. Once again, I was just an ignorant teen when that happened. So I learned from my mistakes. You may be thinking to yourself, $100 sounds like good money, but once you calculate your expenses such as gas, equipment, where taxes, chemicals, employees, you are not taking home $100, you're only making like $20 an hour, then ask yourself, is a business worth running to only make $20 an hour? Now, here's your guide to pricing jobs. House washes. Now, this ebook is a couple years old now, so you can adjust for inflation if needed, but anywhere from 12 cents to 25 cents plus per square foot. So if a house is 2,500 square feet, you multiply that by, say, 25 cents, and there you'll get your number of what you possibly should be charging. But also, this will depend on what you charge will depend on your customer demographics, competition, and and income, right? If you're in an area where people don't have like high income, you're trying to charge $500, you might be too high for the market you're in, and you just have to know that by, once again, guys, market research. House washes. Driveways and concrete. So a little guide for that is between 15 cents to 25 cents plus per square foot. That's why you need that measuring wheel so you can properly get the square footage of the surface and then multiply it by one of these numbers to get what you should charge. Decks, I don't really charge them by size, kind of just like, I've done enough to kind of like know and eye it. So there's a $200 minimum when it comes to decks. But I kind of just one of the things you eyeball, you learn. Now, if you want specifically like more framework for quoting decks, that will be inside of my wood restoration ebook, and you can check that out. So roofs, obviously, they're more high ticket, so you're gonna be looking at 25 to 30 cents plus per square foot when it comes to a roof. Okay, keep in mind that when quoting jobs, not to go off of square feet alone. Not all square footages are laid out the same. Sometimes you may need to charge more, sometimes you may need to charge less. But you should also have a minimum service charge to avoid low ticket jobs. A lot of companies have service minimums of $200. Mine personally ranges between $120 to $150. That just means, like, say for example, if I quote someone, they want a driveway, it's a small driveway, right? And square footage rise would only come out to $80. After I measured it, like they would have to then fall under the minimum, so of $120. Now, minimum was once again depending on like how big your company is. If you're a solo operation, some guys might not want to leave for $120. Some might not want to leave for less than $300. But just think about yourself as a business owner. Like for me, if I'm doing a driveway, right, I have the right equipment, and say I'm doing a small driveway, someone wants it done, I have to make a decision, right? It's either I do this driveway for this $120, or I make no money at all from a job that literally might only take me 15 minutes to do. So do, once again, what makes sense for your business. Now, this is a bit old anyway, so this number would be updated, but just keep in mind, you should have a minimum so you don't waste your time doing like super cheap jobs. But just think about what it costs you. I said everyone's different. There's some guys who are like, I won't move my trailer for less than $500. Well, cool. Well, that's just more money for the other guy who's willing to go take $200. All right, if it comes down to closing a job, don't fight over pennies. It's important to note. Sometimes all it takes to move a customer is a $30 discount. Don't let the idea of making money only a little more. Don't make the idea of making a little more money cost you the whole job. So, you know, like if I can close a customer over a $20, $30, or even $50 difference, that's not, you know, my bottom line is still gonna be fine. I'm not gonna lose, like I say, for example, a $500 job over $50. If a customer insists on their cap is $450, I'm doing it for $450. You know, argue with your mama. I'm gonna do it for $450 and still, cause I still win, right? So there's some guys who won't budget and will lose their whole job. I think that's a bit ignorant, but to each his own. All right, let's go back over here to our list, guys. We've covered so much information. Let me see what I've missed out on, because we still have definitely some very, very, very important things to cover when it comes to really scaling your business. All right, let's take a second to talk about SOPs, which stands for Standard Operating Procedures. Write down your processes. That means, like, you know, your chemicals, your cleaning procedure, your business operations. I'm going to give you guys a quick example of what an SOP might like for a house wash procedure. Why have this? Because, say for example, even for yourself, or when you go to hire, you know, you can hand over your SOPs. It's going to make it easier to train employees and just run your business. And so the more SOPs you have and things like that laid out, you know, eventually maybe one day, even if right now you're running a solo operation, you want to make it more of a passive thing for you, you're not as hands-on, SOPs will come into play. So you can have SOPs for almost everything, right? SOPs for, you know, maintaining the equipment, SOPs for washing a house, SOPs for keeping the trailer organized. SOPs are just, once again, standard operating procedures. So, purpose. This SOP outlines the process and safety measures for conducting house wash services to ensure consistent quality and customer satisfaction while adhering to environmental and safety regulations. Scope. This procedure applies to all employees and contractors of business name. This is a generic template I created. Performing house wash services. Responsibilities. Technicians are responsible for executing the washing task safely and efficiently following this SOP. Supervisors oversee the operation, ensuring adherence to the SOP and provides necessary guidance. Safety officer, you might not need all these things in your business anyway, but let's go ahead and just fast forward. All right, so 4, equipment and materials, pressure washer, gas or electric, biodegradable cleaning solutions, safety gear, goggles, gloves, non-slip boots, ear protection, ladders, scaffolding if required, water supply and hoses, procedure, preparation, site inspection, preparation of work, clear the area, equipment setup, washing process. I'm not going to read all this, guys. But you guys kind of get the idea of what an SOP is, right? We'll be able to hand this over. It's just literally laying out exactly how things are to be done. Create this SOP in about 5 minutes just using ChatGPT. So, little advice for you guys: use ChatGPT to help you create SOPs for your business. All right, what else have we covered here? So we talked about SOPs, talked about pricing, branding yourself, knowledge about the industry. Now let's talk about your online presence. Let's talk about marketing. So marketing your business. Now, okay, marketing your business. Hopefully by now you've learned some basics of how to start your pressure washing business. Now we covered what it takes to, do it. How do we get our first client? We'll provide some marketing strategies for you to get off the ground. So I believe a good marketing strategy involves both physical and digital ways to reach your customers, especially digital, because that is the age we are living in now, right? Getting customers by door knocking and flyers is still works, but higher converting now is the digital age. The way to be able to reach them through social media and ads and SEO and Google, right? So let's get started. Scrolling down here. All right, boots on the ground marketing. So this means, putting on your shoes and shaking some hands and knocking on doors. So this is your traditional way of marketing, right? This would be things such as door to door, flyers, postcards, yard signs, passing out, business cards to local shops, offices, apartments, restaurants, neighborhoods. Be sure to look professional and polite. Keep the interaction short and sweet. The goal is just make them aware of your business exists. Maybe make them aware that your business exists. Maybe even offer to provide them a free estimate on the spot for future reference. Now, on the residential side, I'm not really one to knock on doors, but also don't say don't do it. It just depends on you and your personality. But people are definitely these days more lenient, or not lenient, but resistant to opening doors. People don't really like being bothered. Back in the day, and I'm not that old, but just back in the day, door knocking was completely, kind of appropriate and normal. But now people have become more private. A lot of people don't even know their neighbors. And they don't really want any unexpected guests coming to their home. So door knocking will depend on the community you live in or around. And if you kind of have a feel for the people, then if you're comfortable doing that, then go for it. Okay, so I personally prefer to grab a stack of business postcards or door hangers and drop them off on mailboxes. Now, be mindful, the whole mailbox thing. Technically, obviously, opening a mailbox, putting anything inside is legal, but also leaving it can be prohibited in a lot of places, so just be very careful of that. Maybe you walk up to a door, don't knock on it, but you leave a door hanger on the door, just walk away. I think that's perfectly fine. But when it comes to this, I'm not going to tell you what to do or not to do. Just be careful of local and regulations so you don't get in trouble. Do not expect high conversion rates with things like postcards or flyers. You may pass out thousands of them and only get a few calls. But don't let that discourage you, because that one call could lead you into multiple referrals. Once you get your foot in the door of certain neighborhoods, it normally leads to some referrals. Be sure that once you complete a job for a customer, they are truly satisfied. You ask for a review and give them 3 business cards, kind of like my practice. And the reviews are a backbone of businesses these days, right? Everyone's going to Google. Everyone's looking up the quality of a business reviews before they use them. And I'm going to show you guys some way to automate asking for referrals and reviews. So once again, stay tuned until the very end. So just running through this: physical ways of marketing, flyers, postcards, EDM, this is like a mailing campaign, door-to-door, yard signs, networking events, community events, word of mouth, billboards, vehicle graphics. So, if you're driving around your vehicle all the time, whether it's your vehicle, personal, vehicle graphics, make sure if you're business vehicle, make sure it's either wrapped or some type of vinyl, decor on it that has your business, right? So you guys see a picture like my van, it's literally a mobile billboard. So have some graphics, definitely invest in that. T-shirts and hoodies, right? So always be promoting and rocking your business. Remember right here. So don't be afraid to rock your brand while you're out and about. It's your moneymaker, right? All right. So digital. Let's talk about digital. Remember we talked about getting a website, just being online. So number one thing we need to do first is create a GMB, Google My Business profile. We want to get reviews on it. We'll fill it with images because we want to start to rank in this top 5 or top 3 box, right? When people type in pressure washing services near me, these pop up, and these organically usually are the ones that win the jobs, the one that has the most reviews and they rank up here with quality, these close a lot of jobs just organically. So you want to get found in Google. This has to do with your SEO, once again, and having a complete Google My Business profile. We'll talk about this a little bit more. But this is how you're going to get found from people typing in, like, you know, pressure washing near me or pressure washing in the city. So definitely from day one, have this completed. Do not skip that step. Next thing you want to do is have a Facebook page. Facebook, like I said, for me, was the bread and butter of getting clients, running ads, sometimes even free and organically in our groups, but mainly ads. Facebook ads are very effective if you know how to do them. To bring in customers. So you guys can see 80% of my customers came from Facebook. So you want to get Google reviews on both your Facebook page and your Google, because you never know which avenue a customer may find you from. So yeah, it's important to just, you know, once again, ask for those reviews or automate. I'll show you how to do it. All right. So if you're just getting started, you don't want to spend money on Facebook ads. Remember, I just mentioned that you can possibly land jobs from local community Facebook groups that allow business promotion. Eventually, you'll want to spend some of your budget on ads, though, because the whole organic posting, you're going to get like a bunch of people commenting. Like, you know, so if you say, for example, someone posts in a group, oh, does anyone know any pressure washing companies? You know, everybody and their grandma is going to now do pressure washing. So I'd rather just have my own ad. That way I know that it's, you know, it's only advertising me. Okay. Website. So, you know, you want to have a nice website, easy to navigate, mobile optimized. It's important to know because most people will be probably accessing your website from a mobile device. So make sure it's optimized for that. Make sure it has quick loading time because people are impatient. They will move on if it's too slow. Remember to think about SEO, search engine optimization, so people can find you organically. SEO is how well you rank when people type in whatever term your niche you're in. So pressure washing in, or deck restoration in, or roof washing in is a term you might want to try to rank for. All right, so digital marketing checklists or ideas. Create a website, Google My Business, business Facebook page, also Instagram. Hire an SEO company, Facebook ads and groups, Google AdWords. Create a YouTube channel for your business and include your city and state in the titles. So because Google owns YouTube, so it can help you be found organically. Nextdoor app works best when other homeowners post about your business, not you posting about it. Thumbtack, lead generation service, works best when you're the first person to respond. That can cost you on average anywhere from like $20 plus for a lead to come in, and you want to be the first person to contact them when a lead hits your phone. Take good photos of your work, watermark them, and get your customers to share them on pages in exchange for a gift card. It could be like $5 to $25 Amazon gift card. They receive when they post, when you receive business from their post. Bottom line, when it comes to marketing your business, you want to be seen everywhere possible. Eventually, after enough testing, you'll come up with you'll learn which lead sources offer you the most ROI. Once you learn that, you just double down. Okay, guys, so we've covered market research, we've covered knowledge about the industry, we've covered branding yourself, we've covered SOPs, we've covered pricing, we've covered online presence. And sort of what I'm about to show you will integrate a little bit more with online presence, but now it's time to talk about CRM and business automations. And this part I'm super excited to talk about and show you guys some things that will allow you will bring your business basically into 2024 and beyond to separate you, from your competitors and automate a lot of things that businesses are either neglecting or simply doing manually. I'm going to show you how to really AI-atize, and automate your business here in the new modern era, right? Just you need to be keeping up with technology. I'm going to show you how to really skyrocket and autopilot your business. So let's do this. Let's jump to this next section. Hopefully you guys are still locked in. You're not too sleepy. Hopefully you have gotten a lot of value from this so far. I'm super excited to be presenting this training to you guys. So let's keep it going. All right, guys, what I'm getting ready to show you is called the Serve 360 software powered by High Level, and this is beyond just a CRM. This has the capabilities to do some things that are really going to transform your business. So I'm going to try to run through this, but a lot of important, super valuable things I must cover with talking about this software and what it can do and how it can really help you grow your business and get more customers and get more reviews and just overall just run a better, more efficient and effective business. So what we see right now is called the Launchpad. This is the first thing that happens when we create a new account. And the first thing we want to do is go ahead, we attach our Google My Business to the system. By doing this, this now integrates with the software, and we're able to, one, centralize any Google My Business messages that come through. So if you guys may know, Google My Business has a messaging feature. And so the beautiful thing about the software is under the Conversations tab, we can literally see all of our conversations in one place. I'm talking about your Facebook messages, your Instagram DM, your text messages, your emails, your Google My Business, all in one place. You're using WhatsApp, you can have it there too, all in one centralized location. Why is that valuable? Because a lot of business owners, like I said, especially if you're a solo operation, you don't have the time. You miss texts, you miss calls, you forget to check certain platforms, and you're missing out on opportunity. So having it all in one place ensures that you don't miss, any potential leads in business for your company. So that is one beautiful feature about this. But the next thing it does is, which I'll show you guys later, is that under this reporting tab or reputation tab, we can manage all of our Google reviews in one central location, as well as create some review automation. So I'm going to show you guys how we do that in a little bit, but let's continue going. So the other thing we can do is this integrates directly with Facebook. So it'll sync our Messenger conversations and our Facebook leads to the CRM. So what are some amazing things we can do? So traditionally, if you run a Facebook ad, or if you're getting Facebook messages, and so on, all on Facebook, right? And then if you do get a lead, you have to then go, manually enter it into your CRM and then follow up. What if I told you this can integrate with Facebook? We can create automations to where once the lead is submitted, it automatically populates into your contacts and into a pipeline, which I'll talk about, and automatically follows up with them for you. No matter whether you're in the field, sleeping, it automatically starts to follow up with your leads for you. If that sounds interesting, I need you guys to stay tuned. So that's one of the amazing things we can do with integrating Facebook. Next, generate leads from your website by connecting a web chat widget. So I'll show you guys what that looks like as well. Then we can connect Stripe, so we're able to take payments and send out invoices directly through here. And that's the main thing. You can also add team members if your company is bigger than just you. So that's the main thing when we're first setting up the software. So next tab is our dashboard. So once you begin to set up what's called pipelines, and you've added contacts, and you establish values to your pipeline, you'll see this is like reporting. So we'll be able to see, a conversion rate, opportunity value, opportunity status. So say some leads come in, they're currently open. You can have a pipeline to where you say, okay, this is their lead. They've a quote has been sent. They have been closed, pending, and then completed. That's a pipeline you can create. Completely customizable. You create any pipeline that you want and as many pipelines that you want. And then once that data has populated, like I said, then you'll see some actual numbers on here where we'll see stage distribution funnels and then our conversion rate and how much money, how many jobs have been won. So that's it for reporting. We're going to come down here to the Conversations tab. Like I said, this is one of my favorite features. Right now, this is going to be, here's an example right now. So I connected Google My Business to this, and as you guys can see already, here is a Google My Business message right here. Hey, I'm interested in getting a quote on my pressure wash, my 2-story detached garage, and that was sent today at 2:17 a.m. So that could have otherwise been missed had this not been set up. Mind you, like I said, once you get a phone number, which you can get through this software as well, you'll be able to do text message marketing through here, all your emails, like I said, everything you have, all in one place. You'll be able to manage all your messages and clients all directly right here. And then you can see contact information right on the side as well, tags, phone number, email, and there's some other cool things we can do. I can also respond directly from here. Down here we can send attachments, invoices, requesting payment, all that through this tab. So it's really cool that you guys got to see an example for this. Unfortunately, this is not even active right now, so there will be no response necessary. But that is a great feature of Conversation tab, and this also can be accessed through the app as well. So there's an app to this, so you guys don't have to worry about always being on a laptop to respond. This can all be done through your cell phone. Next, we come down to calendars. Calendars is another really cool feature. I'm going to show you guys in another account what calendars looks like. This was kind of just for demo purposes. With calendars, we can set up as many calendars as we want to, whether it's appointment calendars, quote calendars, whatever calendars you need to create can be right here, so you can manage all of your appointments and bookings in one centralized place. It's super important if you're running a business that you have to be organized, right? So if right now you're manually tracking your appointments or manually entering them and your calendars aren't integrated, it could be a little bit chaotic. So you want to have a centralized place once again to manage all of your appointments. And so this integrates with Google Calendar as well as a couple other calendars to sync together. And like I said, you can manage all your appointments here. So some of the cool things with the calendars as well is that the CRM, everything is integrated together. So once an appointment, say for example, is booked on the calendar, we can create calendar automations, automatic appointment reminders, and follow-up. Even more. So this software can do a lot. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but I just want you guys to get a few of the points I'm going over right now. So you have your calendar booking, as mentioned. Next is our contacts. We can manage all of our contacts in one centralized location. So this is right now is going to be empty, but I can show you guys once you get on another platform, another account, what it looks like when this is populated. So as you guys see, I want to show you guys another automation. So the software is super smart. So we know that under the conversation tab, someone named Marcia Lane sent us the message, right? So automatically, without me having to do anything, it automatically added Marcia as a contact. Now, if I go message her back and say, "Hi, Marcia, what is your phone number?" the system will automatically grab that phone number and add it to the contacts without us having to do anything at all. Another cool feature. So once you have contacts populated here, you can find them by tags or arrange them by tags. You could add them to what is called workflows or pipelines. I'll show you guys what that means shortly. We can send them an SMS. We can send them an email. As long as we have that information, we can do that with here. So the contacts tabs come super in handy. Now contacts are going to be anybody, just whether they've used your business before, contacted you, interested in your services. That's all in one location. Now, once some automations are created and some workflows, which like I said, I'll explain in a second, we can add tags, for example, and you can have customers who already use your service be automatically tagged as booked. And that way, if say down the road you want to send out a text message campaign to everyone who's used your services before, and you just will type in like tag book if that's how you set it up. And the beautiful thing, guys, like text message marketing, if you're not using it yet, text message marketing to your existing customers will make you thousands of dollars. It's the lowest hanging fruit. Once you've already done work for someone, you've done good work, they enjoyed your services, refers you, or left you a good review, they're the easiest customer getting in. So we know with pressure washing, people might need your services every 6 months or every year. So every 6 months or every year, you might run a text message campaign to everyone who's used your services before to generate immediate revenue. So that's something that you can do from here, which is super, super cool. And like I said, the text message marketing is all integrated, so you don't have to use any separate software to make that happen. As I mentioned, there's pipelines. And what I'm going to do is, since there's no pipelines created on this account right now, I'm going to go to another account that I'm going to use for demo purposes and show you guys what it looks like when it's completely filled out. On another demo account that actually has some pipelines created. So you can see right here, so opportunities, pipelines are pretty much whatever the flow that you want leads to go through. So this can also be used for customer support purposes, but specifically talking about pressure washing, right? Let's go to a pressure washing pipeline I created. So you guys can see that I created 4 stages: lead, quote sent, booked, and closed. I'm going to show you how cool this is in a second. That started from the website. The very website I actually built just a little demo website for this purpose right in the software. So yes, you can build websites as well. And once a form is submitted on the website, automatically the client will be added to this pipeline as a lead. They will be followed up with, and their contact will be added to the CRM automatically. So right now, if you're manually doing that, this might be something that just stands out to you off rip. So I will show you guys what that looks like in a second. Next is the payments tab. So under here, we're able to create invoices, send payment links, add products, coupons, see other transactions, and so forth and so on. So I won't really go too much in detail over this tab. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then we get down to marketing. Under marketing, we're able to schedule posts. So if you want to schedule some posts for your Facebook and Instagram to automatically post, you just upload it here, schedule it, and then it will post them for you automatically once you've set it all up. You can send out email campaigns from here, and then this is called trigger links. I will explain that in a little bit, but that's what this tab does. The software truly does a lot. Like I said, it's the ultimate engine for your business. Next is my favorite tab, which is automations. Now we're getting into AI, and we're going to set up some things that, like I said, typically you would manually have to do. And we can do some really, really dope automations through here. Pretty much is all up to your own creativity. So I'm going to show you guys one of the automations right here. As I mentioned, with the website, we can create a form automation. And while that's loading, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the website as well so you guys can see exactly how this works. Website, I'm going to show you guys, this is under the Sites tab. So I have built a little demo website right here. So under this tab, we can, create funnels, websites, form surveys, and more. But a lot of this stuff won't be relevant to you guys as a pressure washing business owners. So I'm just going to go ahead and click website so you guys can see the demo I'm referring to. So I think we're right here. It says yard care, but the website will be, like I said, it's going to say pressure washing once we click it. I didn't fully build this out. I just built it enough to show you guys a demo. So let me go ahead and just open it up right there. And so here is just our demo website. And so for the average, pressure washing business owner, most people have, something standard like this for a website and a request quote form. Now, what typically happens when people have a request quote form is people submit this and then it goes to like their email, and then whenever they get a chance to respond, they respond. Now, they might overlook the email. It might be days that go by. The customer never hears back. So sometimes these quote forms on websites are, I don't want to say pointless, but almost ineffective for the business owner if they're not always paying attention to it. And like I said, I know as a small business owner, a solo operator, that you have a lot of different tasks to manage. You're the one answering the phones, you're out in the field. Essentially, you're doing everything. So there's gaps that you just miss. And so responding to a quote form lead might take some time for you, and it might be too late by the time you respond to them. So I'll show you guys with this. If we just fill out our information like you typically would, just run through this and pause this real quick while I fill this out. Filled out. Now we're just going to select a couple of things. Let's just say we want a house wash and a roof wash, and we're going to agree to the terms and click get quote. Let me add a plus sign to my phone number. All right, get quote. All right, so now it says thank you for taking time to fill out this form. Now that's what happened on the front end. I want to show you guys what just happened on the back end once this lead form was submitted. So let's go back over here to our, I remember I said automations. And so here, this is where we build out automations and workflows. So what I just did was on the back end, what was already created was the form is the trigger. So I triggered to where when someone submits the form, this sequence of actions happen right here. So the contact is created automatically, text information automatically adds it to your contacts. It is assigned for you to manually call, so you can see this actually in the app, and you will be prompted to call whatever lead that just submitted. But even if you're busy, the next thing that happens is the contact is added to the specific website pipeline, which I showed you guys an example of. Also, would be internally notified through the app and also through text message if you prefer. And then the last thing that happens, I remember, like I just said, the software will automatically follow up with them if you set up that way. So I put another task that happens. This all happens automated to where the contact will receive this text. So me being the contact right now, I received this text saying, hey, this will be my name in here. This is Zay with iWorks Pressure Washing. I just received your quote submission, but I'm currently in the field. I will get the quote over to you ASAP. In the meantime, would you mind sending a couple pics of your project? If you can't, it's no big deal. Talk soon. So why is this super important? Because typically people would submit a form and then they just now hope and pray that you get back with them. Or if they're not hoping and praying that you get back with them, they've already moved on to another company that will contact them faster. But by immediately touching bases once that form is submitted, now you're more likely for this customer to stick around and for you to close them, all automated. So, you can completely customize this message. I just put, in the field. So we can also, create this to where it only triggers this message between a certain time of day. And if it's after that time, we might trigger a different message that says, hey, we're not in the office right now. And that might be what you want to say is, hey, we're currently away from the office. And that way it's more general because if someone submits a form at, say 5 a.m. and you said I'm currently in the field, you're probably not in the field. You're probably still at home sleep. So we might want to say something like, currently not in the office, but I will get the quote over to you ASAP. In the meantime, would you mind sending a couple pictures of your projects? So once again, this can say whatever you want. You can add an image if you wanted to, but this happens literally all automated. So this is the beauty, guys, of automation. And this is just a basic automation that can happen within your business. Now, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you guys another automation that has been created within this tab that is going to be super useful for you as a pressure washing business owner. So as we know, we're in an age where reviews matter. Reviews win the game. So we want to be able to automate that once again. It's cool to ask for reviews, but why don't we just automate the process of getting reviews? So I want to show you guys another sequence that I created, and let me find it. I believe it must be under this tab right here. And let's see. Okay, here we go. Here is the automation I created. Give it a second to load. But here's the cool thing that's going to happen with this next automation that was our workflow that we created. So we have a couple triggers. We either have contact tag is whatever. So you can create tags specifically in the software. I'll show you guys in a second. But I created a tag called completed. This means that the job has already been done. You've been paid. Once a tag is added completed, or so you add the tag completed to a tag. Completed to a customer. Sorry, cannot talk right now. Once this tag is added, right, it will trigger this workflow. So what is this workflow? It's going to send them a review request immediately after this tag was added. The other trigger that could happen is if you change the appointment status to showed, that just means that, once again, the appointment is done, completed. So either one of these will trigger this. It will send them a review request. So this particular sequence we set up in a different area, but if I wanted to, I could also replace this with just a text message that had a custom field in it that was a link to our Google My Business or Facebook page, whatever you want to generate reviews for. With the custom message, we might say, hey, we appreciate your business. Thank you so much for using us. Would you mind taking a few seconds and leaving a review? And then we can send that out to them. And we can also, to find out if they actually left us a review, or we can create what's called a trigger link. So I mentioned trigger links earlier. So say if we want to make our Google My Business into a trigger link, we will know that once they click that link, or if they click it or not, we would know. We would be able to track that. And so say based on them not clicking it, and say within a day's time frame or 2 days time frame, they don't click the link, we might create another automation to follow up with them to ask them again, could they leave a review? We could do that as well. So just to, put that in your mind that this software is super capable of doing a lot. So anyway, we send out review requests, then we wait. So this is up to wait 3 days after the appointment or 3 days after that tag is added. We will send them another SMS, something like this. So we've already gotten our review after day 1 or immediately after we added that tag. And then 3 days later, because we want reviews and referrals. So 3 days later, the system will automatically send them this follow-up message saying something like this. Thanks again for choosing us. If you know anyone else that could use some exterior cleaning, we would love to service them. Also, there's a $50 Amazon gift card waiting for you after 3 closed referrals. Thanks again. So this referral message, once again, I could erase this. This could be completely customizable to what you want it to say, but this is all automated. So you don't have to worry about remembering to ask for reviews or referrals. You automate. That is the modern area, is automation. The next thing that happens after that's sent is I put wait. Now you see it says wait 180 days. Why so long? Because, like I said, on average, your customers won't need you again for like 6 months to a year. So we want to automate our marketing to these customers. So we wait 180 days and the system will do what? I've created an automatic 180-day follow-up text saying, first name, hope all is well. This is Zay with iWorks Pressure Washing. It's been a while since your last cleaning. Was just checking if there's anything else you needed done. Just let me know. And also mention this text for an extra 50% off. So how about following up with your client 6 months from now automatically? You don't have to remember to do it. Your system will automatically be following up with your past clients for you. If this hasn't blown your mind so far, then I don't know what else to tell you. Like, this is the future, but it's also right now. And this is what your business needs to succeed and to beat out your competition. I promise you, your average competitor does not have a system like this. Automation I've created is just a appointment reminder, follow-up automation, which once an appointment is booked, it will automatically, send them a reminder before their appointment, and also after their appointment. It can also ask for a review if we set it up to. So I'm not going to click it because you guys already kind of get the point of automations. We can really do a lot. It's almost no limit to what we can automate. But yeah, that's another one that we can implement as well. So you don't have to say like I'm on the way or any of that. The software will automatically do it for you. So the last couple things I want to show you guys, I don't want to overwhelm you too much. I know I've dropped a lot, but hopefully this has been eye-opening for you. If so far this has been good, comment below, comment eye-opening. Comment eye-opening if this has opened up your eyes and now you're thinking to yourself, I need this system. So another tab we have is reputation management. This is our tab where we can see all of our reviews from both Facebook and Google, as long as you've already integrated it. And so we can see all how we're doing overall in our online presence. We can send review requests. We can even respond to reviews from this tab. So just a quick rundown of that. And then last thing we're going to do is go down to settings. And so this is where we could create new pipelines, as many pipelines as we want. We build out our calendars back here as well. We have phone numbers and email services. So with phone numbers, you can get a phone number right in the system. And the cool thing about getting a phone number through here is that, as I mentioned, guys, when you're running just a solo business, right, or a small operation, you want as many things as possible to be automated to help you, keeping connected to your customers. So what is one thing that happens with customers when they try to reach your business is that if you don't answer the phone, they move on, right? They might move on to another business. So one of the cool things we can do with this is called missed call text back. And that's not in this section. I'm going to see if I can pull it up for you guys. But missed call text back, all we do is check it on. And then the system, once the call comes through, if you don't answer it, it will automatically text them immediately. It might say something like, hey, I'm busy in the field right now, away from the office, away from my phone. And then follow up. If you could send me your project details, I'd be happy to get to you ASAP. Now we've just touched bases. That is better than nothing when a company calls and they don't hear anything from you. By that automatically missed call text back, we can now still have a chance to gain that customer's business in the future. So this also, we would create custom fields, values, and tags. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with this because I know it's been a lot, but I want you guys to get the main point of what an effective software can do for your business. So guys, here's the missed call text back in action. If you have a number through the software, then you can enable the setting. And when it's enabled, we can just create a custom message that for any missed call, this will trigger. And so whatever we want this to say, we can edit it. Right now it's just on the generic, hi, this is location. So this might be, hi, this is so-and-so pressure washing. We saw it, missed your call. How can we help you? And this is, as I mentioned before, it's super effective because if you're running a small or a solo operation, you want to be able to follow back up with your customers as quickly as possible. And so just having it automate could literally be the difference between, an extra few $1,000s a month in business that would have been lost had this text not been sent out. Because as we know, as I mentioned before, people call your business, they're already moving on to the next one if you don't answer. So by sending the text, you're at least touching bases and you're more likely to close that appointment or at least continue the conversation than if they don't hear anything back at all. So once again, this might be the one feature that literally is a game changer for your business. With that being said, guys, that is it for the software and the training. I know we covered a ton of information. Anyone who stuck out this long, I know you must be serious about starting a pressure washing business. So, you step to the end, you probably have a few questions. One, you're probably curious about the software. You're probably interested. Want to know, like, how much does it cost? How can you get your hands on it? Or two, you might also be wondering, how can I get continued training? So, for everyone, since you stayed to the end, I have a special offer for you, an exclusive offer. And you're going to get 1 year access to the Serve 360 software at a value of over $1,000, so $1,164. Access to my complete pressure washing course. So if we go over to sixfigurepressurewashing.com, step-by-step video course that teaches you how to start your pressure washing business from start to finish. So it covers a lot of topics in the ebook plus more, obviously in more details since it's videos. So we have setting up your business. Then we have choosing your rig. Then we have a full exterior cleaning series, so you can learn like how to wash houses, how to wash roofs. You guys can see there's a lot of information covered. House wash formula, property checklist, chemical guide, understanding the job, ball valve use, concrete cleaning, leaf stain removal, using the right amount of pressure, operations, what you'll need. Cover a lot. So that's included, along with a Google Drive with over it's like 100, it's like 80 to 100 before and after photos that you are free to use for your business when you first start. So you could show some examples of work. That is included at $97 value. Facebook ads and TikTok training video course valued at $197. You also get that as well. And so we add all this up. This is obviously going to be close to $2,000 total. But since you stayed to the end of this video, my special offer for you right now is you get everything for $397. That is literally, let's go over it one more time, see what you get, guys. You get access to the full Serve 360 software, 1 year access. So that's valued at literally $1,100 by itself. You get the full access to the course. You get the Google Drive with before and after photos and Facebook ads training for literally $397. Literally $397. So if you're interested, guys, I'm going to make this available for 10 people because the software alone, I can't give away too many people because like it's just too good of a discount. So if you're interested, if you want to be one of the 10, the link will be below this video for you to take action. Once you complete payment, you will automatically be sent access to the trainings as well as a calendar link to book your onboarding call for the software. And if you guys are also, if you've already have your pressure washer business up and running and you just want to use the software, you don't need everything else, then there will be another link in the description of this video which will just give, which you can just purchase access to the software. Same thing will happen though. Once you complete payment, you'll be sent a calendar for the onboarding. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this training. Hopefully this was valuable for you and you're excited to launch your pressure washing business. Like I said, if you're already running it, hopefully you're excited to scale it. You have some new information, some new ideas that you can now implement to your business. But thank you for watching this video to the entirety. I know it's pretty long, but I wanted to give as much value as possible. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.